What's going on, all you gamers? Here we are back with some more Dark Souls 3, and today I'm going to be going over a boss that could be a little bit of a pain if you don't know its mechanics, and that's going to be the Abyss Watchers. If you're stuck on them and just want some tips, then that's coming up next. Welcome back all you guys and girls, as always, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox, then why not hit that subscribe and bell icon. I'll bring you all the latest and greatest content, hints, tips, guides and builds, and just some fun gameplay and reviews of upcoming games. But for today I'm here to give you a few tips on what I think is one of the coolest bosses in Dark Souls 3, and that's the Abyss Watchers. This boss, I can honestly say, took me a little while to work out. The first 3 to 5 goes I absolutely got destroyed, and just couldn't work out what to do on his second phase. Again, he's another boss with 2 phases, and the second phase of this guy can be a bit of a nightmare if you're not sure how to beat it. But the main thing you're going to want to do on this boss, if possible, try and probably chuck on a little bit of gear to give you a bit of flame resistance. It's not essential, but it definitely can help. Now the first stage, if again you don't know what you're doing or what to look out for, can be an absolute nightmare. The main thing I would say, if you can and if you have any, at the start you can very much get off one probably long range move before he hits you. So if you're a pyro or if you're a mage, you may well be able to get one nice hit in before you've got to start evading of sorts. After that you're pretty much going to be just jogging around the outside of the area. Make sure you're not getting caught by his attacks and make sure you're having a big old run. Pretty much hug the wall near enough and make your way around the outside as if you're doing a kind of rotation or a lap of sorts of the area. Now after a short while, I believe it's probably on the first lap, you're going to notice that he calls in someone that's identical to himself. Both the original boss and the clones he brings in hit really hard, so make sure you're dodge rolling or using whatever you've got to in order to get out of the way of them. But for this, again, I would just run around the outside until we get to the next part, which is when he calls in another clone of himself. This one is slightly different, as you'll notice it has red eyes. The ones with red eyes tend to attack the other clones or the boss himself, so think of them as a kind of makeshift ally, although they're not 100% your ally, because again, if you are running completely close to them when they spawn in, they can attack you first, so try and give yourself a bit of distance from them in order for them to go and fight the others. Now whilst this red clone is attacking is your best chance to try and take out the other clone quickly and then make your way onto the main boss. If you can do a lot of damage during this time, because he is definitely hindered by the other version of himself. Do as much damage as you can, but as soon as he focuses on you or as soon as the other red clone is taken down, just do the running around the outside again. It might seem a bit cowardly, but it definitely saves you some health and it makes the whole thing a lot easier. In fact, you can well do this and the clones themselves take off a massive chunk of the boss's health, and in some cases may even take him to the second stage on their own. Now once you've managed to completely take out the boss's first health bar, he's going to go on to that second phase, and this one is definitely one that takes a bit of getting used to. He brings out the firepower with flame swords and such and just hits abundantly hard with some really wide arcing sword attacks. What I found best for him was to make sure that you picked your moments when you could attack him, locking onto him and waiting for him to do any attacks when he had a bit of downtime. One of the main ones was when he kind of done a swirling attack with his sword and landed. Then you've got a few seconds to either get some hits in close range or to pull yourself back a bit and get some long range damage depending on your class and such. The main thing you're going to want to get used to is what distance to be at and how to rotate around him. I found being locked onto him the best at this stage, but not being too close or too far, very much mid-range, because then I was able to dodge out of the way of his attacks and such. And then if I needed to backstab or if I needed to attack him from behind, most times I would be able to get in a few hits. Don't get overzealous though, because he is very quick, so if you're spending too long attacking him, he may well turn around and take off a lot more health of you than you have of him, so try and get in and get out quickly. Again, if you're long range, exactly the same again, you're going to want to pick your moments. When there's any downtime, when there's any slight pauses with his rhythm, that's when you're going to take advantage of it. This boss is very much a boss where you're going to have to make sure that you get those dodge rolls perfect, because otherwise if you're hit by those flaming swords, you're definitely going to feel it because it's going to take off such a big chunk of your health. But hopefully, like I said, that mid-range seems to be perfect, gives you enough time, and when I was at that distance, I noticed he was pulling out that move with the swirling sword attack, giving me a little bit more time to kind of counter it and to get in and do some damage. After a while you should be able to deplete his health, although it definitely may take a few times because this boss is far from the easiest of the game. But hopefully with these tips you'll be able to take him down eventually and you'll net those goodies afterwards. As always guys and girls, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox, take care, I'll see you on the next day.